Let's examine the 7 deadly sins of MMO design. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Josh Strife-Hayes. I've been playing and analysing MMO games on YouTube for several years now, and over that time I've come to notice some constants in the development cycle, small things that even big games can do, which really damage the overall experience. So let's analyse the second sin of MMO gaming: gluttony, or feature creep. Before we begin, please consider dropping a like on the video or
drop a like here too,
and ringing the bell so you don't miss a future video. And a massive thank you to all my supporters on Patreon.
Oh yeah, we got
Twitch,
Patreon too.
Make
$1
all my content possible. Right.
$1.
Let's do this. Gluttony, continuous or excessive consumption. I'm making these videos around Christmas time, so we can all be pretty sure what gluttony is. It's just having one more mince pie, just one more chocolate, just one more slice of turkey. Gluttony is...
Yeah, you've all had mince pies, right? You eat whole mince pies? Yeah, it's just like that.
Interesting sin, as you have to be in a position of affluence to even consider it. You're only able to eat too much food if you have too much food, or drink too much drink if you have too much drink. So how does gluttony tie in with MMO design? Well, it's the aspect of too much, of having more than you need and filling yourself up.
Yo, I think that's Final Fantasy. Man, I tried to get into this shit because I like Final Fantasy, and I tried to play the multiplayer, fucking role-playing game, online one, and there was just too much shit. It was dense at that. I mean, I've missed like years of it. So trying to get into it now was like, oh, fuck, I can't handle it. It's like too much. That's awesome. But yeah, I couldn't get into it. When did you guys get into it? Let me know down in the comments or whatever right here. How do you get into this now? It's too fucking dense for me. If they're talking about feature creep in that game, I could see it because it was crazy. I couldn't handle it. It was too much.
With food, you'd eat a lot of useless junk and empty
calories.
calories.
I felt like I would just have to like pick what I wanted to do, and it was way too overwhelming. At least for me.
In games,
we got all these fans
in
here.
Useless features and empty systems. We call this feature creep or feature bloat. To understand how this happens, we need to understand basic game design and then expand from there. So let's take a look at some simple offline games, then relate those design concepts.
Like, yeah, I could play Portal right now. Portal would not overwhelm me, right? Going into Portal would be fine. I've never played Portal. I believe that's a very good game. I know I could get into that and I could play that and I would be fine. Final Fantasy Online, I would be thrown into the fucking deep end and I would have a problem. I would be like, oh shit, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's good, what's bad. I need to read a book or a tutorial, or I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes. I don't know what the fuck is happening. It would fuck with me.
Concepts to MMOs. Let's look at Portal, one of my favourite games. It's a first-person puzzle where you solve 3D mazes by creating 2 connected portals within self-contained rooms. Let's look at the core gameplay mechanic: placing portals on surfaces. This is the very essence of the game. You cannot remove this element. The core gameplay loop is make portals. Now there are a bunch of other features: pick up objects, avoid gunfire, momentum, but the very base game is make portals. How about Dark Souls? Large boss fights and journeying through a land. That's essentially it. The core mechanics you need to finish the game are movement and combat. There are a bunch of other features, like rolling, jumping, blocking, parrying, weapon upgrading, armor swapping, healing items, hidden character plots, but they're all additional features. Yes, they're important to the overall tone of the game, but you only need movement and combat to finish the game. Now with these games, Portal and Dark Souls, the additional features have been carefully added to enhance the main mechanic. Creating portals is more varied when certain surfaces can't be portaled on. Fighting enemies is more varied when you can change weapons. The features the game have enhance the central loop. Everything serves to make the core experience more fleshed out and so make the games better. Now let's look at MMOs. The most common journey is travel through a land, gain experience points, and become more powerful. That's basically it for every MMO. The way you choose to do that can be up to you. The features added to the games can increase.
Yeah, it's like when I started Marvel Strike Force, I leveled up, I did raids, we did the next powerful raid, the feedback loop continued, everybody was happy, everything was fine. Until they started adding shit. Like Blitz wasn't in the game at the start. I don't know if you know this, people. Game didn't have fucking Blitz. Then Blitz came in. Ruined everything.
The ways you gain experience, such as through fishing, woodcutting, mining, smithing, enchanting, gathering, farming, questing, or combat. The features MMO games develop are always based around their core mechanics. Each feature simply enhances the journey around and gain experience loop. New ways to teleport? Well, they're enhancing the journeying. New ways to gain experience or new skills to do? They're enhancing the experience gaining element. And the reason it's great to add features that enhance the main loop is because that feature will then always be relevant. If your core game is basically journey around and gain experience, then anything that relates to journeying or gaining experience will always be useful to someone because they relate directly back to the essence of the game. But there are 4 main instances when adding a feature.
Yeah, this is the problem with War, is that it doesn't interact with raids. It counteracts, it pulls away. It's like a different fucking thing. And they have like War-specific characters that don't work in raids. And they don't fucking... If it worked together, it would be great. If building Deathpool made any fucking sense, it'd be great. Because I'm building Deathpool for raids. I don't get to use her. It's like the worst fucking part of this game right now is you build characters that you can't use for 75% of the rest of the fucking game. They work for 25% of the game and it's all they do and it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. You have so many desperate features vying for your attention and all of them telling you that they're important and even some fucking people that'll buy into that and try to feed you that. It's ridiculous.
May be counterproductive when that new feature doesn't relate to the main gameplay loop, when the new feature makes other existing features.
Yeah, RTA 100,000 fucking percent doesn't relate to shit.
Irrelevant, when the new feature has a limited shelf life by design and is guaranteed to eventually become redundant, or when a vast amount of variables are added simply to confuse the players and increase design complexity. If a game receives an update which adds a new feature that either isn't related to the main gameplay mechanics, makes something else irrelevant, is guaranteed to become irrelevant itself, or is purposely too complex...
Yeah, so what do we think about Grand Arena in this case? Is it going to relate to the main gameplay loop? Is it going to relate back to like raids and campaigns and shit? No, it's going to be this whole other fucking thing. It's going to make other features irrelevant. It's going to make the arena irrelevant. They're going to replace arena with Grand Arena. Maybe if they don't, we're going to really be screwed. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And it's definitely needlessly complicated. Like from the looks of it already, it looks like it's going to be just dumb as shit. I mean, we'll see how it pans out. Some people love the Grand Arena in Star Wars or whatever, but I don't know. When I was looking at it, the write-up of it at least was totally needlessly complicated. Like, it doesn't make any sense to what we've been doing for the last 3 years.
To understand, then that feature isn't enhancing the game. It's simply contributing to feature creep. Feature creep can include mini-games and distractions within the game that have no reason to be played. For example, in old school RuneScape there's a mini-game called Trouble Brewing, where 2 teams compete to brew some beer faster than the other. The rewards are some pirate costumes or an item, which can increase your chance in the regular game of beer being more valuable. Well, because no one wanted the costumes or brews in-game beer, this minigame is absolutely dead. It doesn't relate to RuneScape's main themes of journeying and gaining experience, so it's now a useless feature. Feature bloat can include skills or abilities that have a better or more useful version of themselves become available. If you were playing a game and used a healing spell that healed 90 health, but then they released a new spell with exactly the same requirements, the same mana cost, that healed 90 and cured poison and made you faster for a few seconds.
Yeah, they're doing this with like characters in Marvel Strike Force. They're constantly coming out with new characters that just negate old ones. Like, oh, you used to like this character? Well, here's the better version of that character. Here it is. Sometimes entirely. Like Sam Cap just replaced Falcon. Why would you ever use Falcon when now you can use Sam Cap? He's just irrelevant. Just an irrelevant character who will never be relevant again. I can't see them ever picking back up Falcon and being like, oh, Falcon's important now. Wouldn't make any sense to do that. They would have to give him such a, it's going to be so long before Falcon ever becomes useful again in this game. He's removed from the roster, basically. Entirely dead. Makes no fucking sense.
You'd go with that version. This new spell has made the old spell irrelevant, resulting in extra skills that are in the game and take up space in your ability book only to never be used.
Yeah, yeah, we have that problem with new players. Now, a new player might come in, unlock Falcon, and be like, well, maybe he's useful, and I'll put like resources into him. Entirely wasted, just there to confuse you at this point. Most of the characters in the game, we got like 100 characters in the game, easy. You got no business in touching anymore. They're entirely useless, wasted resources.
Feature bloat. How about adding extra character stats to track more variables? Strength and defense might be too simple. You now need magical defense or melee defense. But what about magical fire defense, magical ice defense, magical lightning defense, defense against evil or good? What about magical lightning defense while jumping? What
about fucking safeguard? What a fucking pointless thing to add to the game and then fucking safeguard. Doesn't hardly even fucking matter, safeguard. It's ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. I mean, I like the idea of adding new buffs and debuffs, but they fucked those up too.
In cover while casting an ability. MMOs track many character aspects, and slowly but surely games will add more over time to give the illusion of progression, which results in far too many numbers for a player to keep track of.
Sounds like the ISO system, actually. And I think when the ISO system was first introduced, green, it was fine. Blue is just fucking stupid. Blue is just so fucking dumb. It's just tacked right on top of green and doesn't really add shit. Just makes it so Striker and Skirmisher are the only two classes to care about.
Or those numbers consistently going up. The worst example of feature bloat is when a game adds an entire new system or subsystem that is either overly complex and simply designed to confuse players into spending money, or is designed to become outdated once a new expansion is released and only serves as a stopgap to distract players for a while. So let's examine those. This garish monstrosity of a game is League of Angels.
I heard about this shit.
Everything that's wrong.
I heard about this shit's fucking ridiculous. Has anybody played this shit? It is absolutely fucking absurd.
With the gaming industry, and even having this installed on my PC to get this footage made other games on it worse. But just look at this. Each icon is a new system. Your mount level, your armor enhancement, your item level, your battle rating, your angel team setup, your legendary item collection. At its core, this game is sit back and watch while the game auto-plays itself. But
it's an abomination, kill it!
Only exists to add unnecessary complexity, and each of these systems is obtusely difficult to understand and can slowly be improved by spending money. This is a prime example of a game filling itself with so many features just so the player cannot possibly understand them all, and will never ever be able to maximize their character without simply spending money. But using League of Angels is almost cheating, so how about World of Warcraft? In the Warlords of Draenor expansion, you had your garrison, a base camp where you could send out NPCs on missions and find items to restore the glory of either the Horde or the Alliance. Then Legion came out, and while garrisons were still a thing, they suddenly didn't matter as much, because now it was all about restoring your artifact weapon, which was the most important thing to do. Then Battle for Azeroth happened, and Legion artifact weapons didn't matter at all, and restoring your Heart of Azeroth necklace was what really mattered. Then Shadowlands happened, and the Heart of Azeroth necklace we'd spent so long upgrading, we cast away because new systems existed and we...
No, this is this over here. What he's describing is exactly what we're going through now with this shit. Where, like, everything we were doing is, like, trash, and now it's this. And if they keep down this road, this mutant thing is all going to be trashed, and it'll be replaced with a whole new mutant thing. Like 5 new mutant characters that do just the better version of this. Just trashed, better version of this. All player agency gone. All player agency gone. What we used to have was a wide roster that you could combine in interesting ways. And the Red Star system revived some characters so that you could have more player agency. We've gotten rid of all that, and we're down to just a very stupid game with a very small set of characters that is squeezing us for resources, for fucking miasma. They release them all together, and there's no fucking hope for it to improve. Yeah, absolutely believe that. Absolutely believe that. Okay. I think that was a fantastic video. It definitely relates back to what we have. If you want to check out the last couple of minutes, I'll put the link down below. But thank you for joining me tonight. I'm going to call it a night. We are going to be back Monday. I believe we're going to have Tony Scongilli on. So if you like Tony, make sure you come back Monday. We'll probably talk all things video games. Maybe we'll talk about some miasma. Maybe not. See if he needs miasma. I got one for him. We could share it. I know you guys got some miasma as well. We are going to run the credits here tonight. You can trust me. Hail Hartgrave.
Got money, nail me up against the wall. Got money, don't want everything, it wants it all. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take that away from me. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take that away from me. And like a hole, like there's a soul, I'd rather die than give you control.